it's StephanieNicoleH. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be talking about the ugly truth of postpartum hair loss. So let me paint this picture for you. You are a new mom. You've been waking up every 2 hours, feeding, changing, and rocking that baby back to sleep. So it's gone on 3 months now, and you're finally getting back into the groove of things. So you decide to treat yourself to a pamper day and wash your hair. So you're washing your hair, you got that conditioner in, combing that conditioner through your hair, and clumps of hair are coming out. WTF, right? So why is this happening? Let me just stop you right there before I go any further and say this is 100% normal. So I'm going to be discussing why this happens, what kind of treatments you can do, and my personal experience with postpartum hair loss. So before we get into why this is happening, we first have to understand the hair growth cycle. So there's 3 steps to the hair growth cycle that's happening on your head at this exact moment. So the first phase is the anagen phase. So this is called the growth phase. So hair grows about 1 centimeter per month, and 85 to 90% of the hairs on your head right now are in this phase. So the hair actually grows from the root actively for 2 to 7 years before that hair follicle becomes dormant. So the second phase of hair growth is the catagen phase, which is the shortest phase, which only lasts about 2 to 3 weeks. So this is the transition phase where the hair stops growing and actually detaches from the blood supply. And the final phase is called the telogen phase, which is also known as the resting phase. So this is actually when the hair is resting in the root and there's hair growing underneath it. So this lasts about 3 months before that hair falls out and allows that new hair to push through the hair follicle. So 10 to 15% of the hairs on your head right now are going through this phase, and it should be a fairly unnoticeable thing. It's completely normal. The average human sheds about 85 to 100 hairs per day. Now during pregnancy, your estrogen levels are high, your progesterone levels are high, so this causes your hair to remain in that first phase, the anagen phase, where the hair is just constantly growing. Pregnant women always have the most beautiful hair. It's always full and luxurious looking. But 3 months after that baby comes, that's when some women experience postpartum hair loss. So at that 3-month mark, that's when the hormone levels are back to normal, estrogen and progesterone. And some women, not all, experience the postpartum hair loss, and the shedding is basically just making up for those 9 months of having that luxurious hair that you've just gotten used to. So at this point, instead of shedding 100 hairs per day, which is normal, you're shedding up to 400 hairs per day. And this can become really startling if you're not prepared for it, because it's just happening all at once and literally clumps of hair are coming out of your head. But the total amount that you lose during this phase, which usually postpartum hair loss lasts from month 3 after you have the baby up until month 6, or it can last up until that first year. But the amount of hair that you lose during this phase is the total amount that you would have lost during those 9 months while you were pregnant. So again, this is temporary and it is completely normal. So what are some treatments that you can do to lessen the amount of hair that's lost? It's really hard to say. First thing you could do is try to reduce your stress. I know that that's going to be hard to do with a brand new baby you're trying to care for, who's waking up, crying, has all these needs. But try to reduce your stress as much as possible. Try to meditate, think happy thoughts. Also, another thing is to eat a healthy diet, plenty of protein, take your vitamins. So all of those things can help with postpartum hair loss. So you minimize your stress, you've changed your diet, your hair is still coming out. So now what? So the next thing is to get some blood work done. So you want to test your sugars, iron, vitamin D, zinc, just making sure that everything is normal. So if everything comes back good with that, next step is to seek out a dermatologist. So hair loss can set in anytime after that baby arrives, but it usually peaks around month 3 and can last up until month 6 or all the way up until their first year. So the biggest question is, does postpartum hair loss worsen with each pregnancy? The answer is no, unless you have an underlying genetic hair loss issue, which yes, it can be more pronounced with each pregnancy. So as far as my personal experience with postpartum hair loss, I am an avid Instagram scroller. So I follow a number of celebrities like Toya Johnson, and I remember her talking about postpartum hair loss, and she lost some of her edges due to this. Also, Santana was talking about it as well, that she experienced some hair loss. Now, even with hearing their stories and seeing their pictures, I still did not believe it. I thought I was immune to this, but apparently not. So after I had my daughter in November, around February, I want to say, I had some passion twists that I had installed myself. And when I took those out, it was time for me to go back to work for my maternity leave was over. So I took those out and was combing out my hair, washed my hair, and like I say at the beginning, put the conditioner in my hair and was combing through it. Literally clumps of hair was coming out of my head. Clumps. I was devastated. I told my husband, I said, I just want to shave my head off. And I was dead serious. I was dead serious. I was going to shave my head. I lost right here. I had 2 bald spots on each side of my head. So now it's starting to grow in, which I am super happy about, because now my daughter will be 7 months next week. So the timeline that I researched does work. It starts at around 3 months and ends at about 6 months. Can take longer, but I'm thankful that my edges are growing back now. My hair has always been super thick, super nice. Never had any problems with shedding, just like the normal amount of shedding. My sister has 4 children. She did not experience postpartum hair loss at all. Like, this baffled me when I went through it. I was not prepared whatsoever, like at all. So did I change my diet? Did I reduce my stress? No. And it's probably because I did not research any of it until now. I just wanted to see, you know, what was the reason behind it. But I wish I would have researched while I was going through it. Then I probably wouldn't have been walking around with 2 bald spots in the front of my head. But again, I thought I was immune to this. I did not think it was going to happen to me. So what advice would I have to moms who are pregnant or moms who are actually going through this right now? Stay strong. Your hair will grow back. I promise you, it will grow back. This is temporary. It is completely normal. It is completely natural. Your hormones are the reason that your hair is falling out. It's nothing that you are doing. As far as what you should do with your hair, tension-free hairstyles is going to be your best bet right now. Something that is not putting tension on your hair and pulling it. So braids and all of that is probably not the best idea right now. I would say take your vitamins, take your prenatal vitamins still, even after the baby comes. That will help tremendously. Drink plenty of water. I am like a fish. I drink so much water, it's ridiculous. But just don't be like me and think you're immune to this. It is a possibility that you will experience postpartum hair loss. So just stay strong and think positive. Love on that baby of yours. And that is it. That's all the information I have. If you have questions, leave them down in the comments box. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I post a new video. I'm pushing out content like crazy, which is so much fun for me. But I will see you all next time.